Today we're going to talk about exactly what did Johnny Manziel do, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kidfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time, and today we're going to talk about the ongoing saga of resident stoolie Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football to some of the Hill people at ampersand you, and how Johnny Football is basically a walking version of Texas Aggies fandom. It's rich, it thinks very highly of itself, it occasionally is pretty good at playing the game of football, but for the most part, it's turned itself into a running joke among sports fandoms. Fight me, Ags. Look, Johnny Football was given an opportunity to play professional football yet again after washing out of the Cleveland Browns in a situation I don't believe is all his fault. From all accounts, that was a dumpster fire until John Dorsey got there and implemented something that looked like a system, something that looked like discipline. And even that, you could say, was just him going, I'm John Dorsey, this is how I do stuff, which is a very low bar, but still a bar. And Johnny Football washed out after winning a Heisman Trophy, after destroying Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl. You know the story. And somehow ends up at the CFL after charges against him, committing a violent act against his girlfriend are dropped, bouts with alcoholism, things that I don't necessarily want to make jokes about, but also things that happen in the course of Johnny Football. And Johnny Football apparently is the party. It's very hard to be the party and be the quarterback. This is not the program, okay? It doesn't really work that way in the reality like it does in movies, except Johnny Football still believes that he can have his comeback season podcast with Kyler Murray's agent and play quarterback for the Montreal Alouettes. And by all accounts in the CFL, folks liked him up there. The Alouettes really wanted to work out, but because of his past, the league and the Alouettes organized an agreement with Manziel, for which they will not give the specifics of now, even saying that there was an agreement in place before he signed, where he had to stick to some criteria. Now, what those criteria are, again, everybody wants to know, and even sources say, folks that have talked to ESPN and the like, are like, look, it was very clear, it was right on time, we didn't ask the dude to do anything that was out of the ordinary or what we would ask somebody in his particular set of circumstances to do. Again, until we know what those details are, it could be almost anything. And I don't really want to speculate on that except to say I watch Blazing Saddles and, well, I'm not going to make that joke. I'm just going to say to the folks that the sheriff is near. Point here is Johnny Football was given opportunities at every level to succeed. He has not succeeded. Not because he can't play football. Even the folks at the CFL, Montreal, said his upside for playing quarterback for Coach Sherman was really great. That's why we brought him here, because we thought he could be an outstanding CFL quarterback, be a Flutie of sorts. Now, we're having to have conversations about whether or not Johnny Football will play in the Alliance or the XFL. And I'm here to tell you, Charlie Ebersol and Bill Polian don't want no parts of Johnny Football. They want a conservative league. They want to keep things high and tight. They want to give folks the kind of football that they think is so great from this nostalgic era of the 50s with some quirks, changing the rules a little bit to try to make it a much more relatable, if not watchable, game. But yeah, you can only blitz 5, so that's real vanilla when you're playing defense. The play clock moving up, I like that. That's like the pitcher's clock in baseball, which I won't get into because y'all hate baseball. I'm still probably going to talk about baseball from time to time. Some people are just going to have to deal. But point here is I don't think Johnny Football fits for the Alliance because, well, he brings with him baggage. Baggage is not something they want in the Alliance. What they want is practice players. They want the Nate Jacksons of the world. Shout out to Nate Jackson. I'm reading his books. Really good. Look, what they want in the Alliance is not who Johnny Football is. It's not who Colin Kaepernick is. It's not what anybody with baggage is. Okay? Randy Gregory does not end up in the Alliance. These folks, they end up in the XFL. Why do they end up in the XFL? Because Vince McMahon is a wrestling person. He is wrestling, and I mean pro wrestling, not mat wrestling. Stay woke, fam. Point here is Vince McMahon knows how to sell WWE. And what is the WWE? It's a bunch of good-looking chumps and heels. The Rock is a heel. I love him. Daniel Bryan is a good-looking chump. I like Daniel Bryan. I say chump with some measure of respect, but not a whole lot because it's the word chump. Point here is my favorites in WWE are all heels. They're all guys who talk a lot of noise, they get in your face, and they wear the belt. They're the Randy Ortons of the world. RKO out of nowhere. That's my jam, okay? It is the Glenn Glary, Glenn Ross of wrestling. You know what it takes to sell real estate? You can finish that joke for me. Point here is, that is why Johnny Football and anybody else with any sort of baggage that can play some football ends up in the XFL and will continue to end up in the XFL. And that's why Bob Stoops, Pep Hamilton, and Jim Zorn are being paid the big bucks. Is to manage these characters, these heels that Vince McMahon is going to bring into his league because he is betting you will watch it like you watch these videos, like you listen to Colin Cowherd on the radio, like you listen to Mike Francesca on the radio. Either you agree with him and you love everything that comes out of his mouth, or you're listening to fight with him because you believe you're smarter than him. Sports talk radio is not very hard to figure out. Neither is TV. Neither is sports. And yet here we are talking about it because Johnny Football is that dude. He's a heel. All right, that's it for me. Doses.